Hello, welcome to the New Europe studios. I am Dan Alexe. With us today, Mr. Arif Mammadov, who is the Brussels envoy for the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Welcome, Mr. Mammadov. Mr. Mammadov is a Azeri diplomat and envoy for the Organization of Islamic Cooperation since last year, right? I wanted to ask you, the organization was created in 1969.
Yeah.
Would it, if it was founded today, would it still be called Islamic? Because the term Islamic took a negative nuance.
This is, of course, it would keep the name Islamic because it brings together all Islamic states, all 57 states. It is second biggest intergovernmental organization after the United Nations. It brings together all Islamic states around the world. You know, the stereotypes about Islam is, of course, this exists. And one of the functions of the organization to break these negative stereotypes about Islam, it was set up primarily, and raison d'être of the organization is issue of Palestinian issue, and that this is it.
My remark was more of a semantic nature because meanwhile Islamic took a negative connotation, and I thought today it would be better called Muslim than Islamic, because Islamic brings memories of militantism, of extremism.
You know, Islam means first of all peace. You know, Islam by its definition is peace, and Islam is a religion of peace, keeping the name of Islamic, it is also delivering the message of peace. The stereotypes, we believe, are mostly stereotypes imposed by the media, and you know, we know sometimes of injustice also. Probably we'll talk about that later on. You know, sometimes injustice causes people to resist and to fight, and this sometimes takes violent forms. You know many examples about that.
We see now in Syria and Iraq.
Yes, of course. You know, whenever there is injustice, whenever there is you know, a violation of human rights, there are human reaction, and sometimes it goes violent way.
So the organization is composed of 57 member countries, practically all countries with a Muslim,
yes, absolutely, right.
Even Muslim minorities.
Yes,
like,
absolutely, yes.
But two countries are absent. One is Syria, which was expelled, and the other one is India. Why is India not a member? It has more than 100 million Muslims.
You know, you're right. India is itself a country with more than billion population, and there is quite important Muslim minority. We have to ask probably India why they are not the member. I don't even know whether they applied to be the member or not. But of course there is conflict between India and Pakistan. And India was not expelled. It has never been the member of the OIC. So India never applied for the membership. We sometimes criticize the policy of India in Kashmir, in vis-a-vis Muslim minorities. You know, there have been violences, etc. But we never had any request from India to be the member of the organization. So I don't know. Maybe in the future it might be, and much depends on India, how it treats its Muslim minorities, and then in the future, why not? Right?
And some countries are observers. One is Russia, and the other one is Thailand.
Yeah, there is also Russia is observer. I don't. There are also some other country which is
from Africa.
Bosnia-Herzegovina. Bosnia-Herzegovina is also observer state. Yes, Russia, as probably Russia is very similar to India, which is a pro-Slav country, but which has quite important Muslim population, according to different sources.
Chechnya, Tatarstan.
Tatarstan, Bashkortostan, and lots of Russians in southern, in the Caucasus. All North Caucasus republics are mostly Muslim populated territories. And that's why, of course, Russia.
And it's an organization that cooperates also with other Muslim organizations, like the Islamic League, like the Arab League, like the
Gulf Cooperation Council. Absolutely.
But you reunite Shia countries and Sunni countries as well.
They are all, regardless of the
tendency, yes, or the branch.
So that there are countries, like
Iran,
like Azerbaijan, we have 50-50,
Shia and Sunni,
60-40 rather, but we don't make any difference on this, and this is more artificial divisions, and that's it.
And in what consists your mission here?
We have a quite small mission. It was opened in June 25, 2013. It's a small mission. I have deputy, we have secretary, we have lots of stagiaires. Even when I was as an ambassador, I used to involve young students from my country, and we continue the same tendency. I like to work with the young people, to teach them and to help them to build up their career. And I do the same now. We have stagiaires from Kazakhstan, from Azerbaijan. We had stagiaires from other countries, so that we permanently send information to all member states saying that we have paid stage. Even we started from September, paid stage practice, and
And the relations with the European Union?
Yeah, we had the first senior official meeting on 8th, 9th of September. It was the first such a high-level meeting.
With Catherine Ashton, the chief of the diplomacy?
We had with Hugh Mingarelli, we had with Mr. Bergamini, we had director level. Of course, when we are planning to have the visit of the new secretary, because previous secretary general has been frequent flyer to Brussels and European capitals, and we hope to have the new secretary general visit after we have settled down European, EU officials here, maybe by the end of the year, rather even the next year. We had this initiative was very strongly supported by Catherine Ashton, Pierre Vimont. We had working lunch with Pierre Vimont. So we had almost all directors in the External Action Service. We had all, from counterterrorism, security, finances, economic. We had all directors, and this was very important for us because we had quite extensive agenda, today's agenda.
What can the organization do in the case of the conflict in Syria, Iraq?
Of course, organization alone cannot do much. There should be joint actions, and probably one of the important messages was that we have to work together with the European Union in order to try to resolve the issue. To make messages stronger. But to make messages stronger, we have maybe make more joint statements, for example, not only on the case of the Middle East, but on other issues. When, regardless of the fact if it is mosque which is burned, or synagogue, or church, there should be joint messages and joint statements, and it can make message much stronger to the international community that the world is united. OIC is a well-respected organization in the all geography. Sometimes it can really build up connections where European Union has problems. It is more tolerated, even by Taliban, for example.
Yes.
I spoke with the OIC representative. He says he has no problem of moving around the country, while probably for others would be difficult. So the name of, again, the name of organization, Islamic Cooperation, it opens doors to many places, and we can be a reliable, good partner to the European Union on these issues.
You mentioned the Taliban, but do you have any contacts with the Islamic State in the Levant?
No, yeah, of course, this is a very dangerous organization. It was Secretary General of the organization, Madani, made very strong messages on unacceptability of what is happening in
Syria and Iraq.
But again, I think that OIC having a role and knowing the region better than anybody else can be important partner even in building some kind of connection. Now, of course, there is no any connection, but no knowledge of the region. The fact that the organization is situated in Jeddah, it is just next to Mecca, so that it can be a good partner to national community in trying to understand situation, in trying to work together to see what can be done. And from this point of view, I think that there is also understanding in Brussels that it's time to work with the OIC more regularly. You mentioned other organizations like Arab League and GCC countries. There is others, of course, but the only one which brings together all Islamic Ummah, we call it Ummah, is OIC. So that there are, in GCC there is no Iran, there is no Central Asian republics, there is no, the same in Gulf Cooperation Council or Arab League. But here you have Central Asian republics, countries in the Caucasus, like Azerbaijan,
African.
So it brings together all spectrum of the countries.
And having reunited all of them, how do you see now the prediction of a conflict of civilizations in this century between the West and Islam?
I wouldn't say that this, I don't believe in Huntington's theory of clash of civilization. Of course, some might see this, that there is, particularly those who like these theories of conspiracy, conflict between Islam. I would avoid the conflict, but of course, if we see the situation in the region, particularly in the Middle East, North Africa, there is sense that everything is burning. There are springs. Probably nobody wants to call it spring because it doesn't resemble spring. Spring is a nice season. It's rather winter.
Upheavals, revolts.
Yes, revolts, and there were high expectations that it will lead to democracy. But we see the situation is deteriorating every day, and I don't see that this is something. But I believe that the future of the security of the Europe, security of the world, depends on how Islam, Judaism, Christianity can live together. In fact, these are three
monotheistic
monotheistic religions, and there are so many closeness there, rather than
people of the book.
Yes, the people of the book. If you ask me, many Christians that if you tell them that there are almost all the Quran is made of the stories about Jesus. Jesus is a very important prophet,
figure of Islam.
Very important, and on his importance, he's very elevated. And it is recognized that he was given the Holy Spirit. God gave only two prophets have been given the Holy Spirit. It was Adam, the first human being, when God gave him the Spirit, and Jesus. So that we don't recognize him being the physical, but Holy Spirit. It is very close. It is essential. So Jesus was a prophet which was given the Holy Spirit. He was born out of Holy Spirit. So
and he will come at the end of the world to judge.
Absolutely, he will come at the end of the judge to sit next to the God. So that Islam for role of Jesus is very, very important, and any Muslim knows that. And I think that Christians should know more about that. Probably Islamic understanding of Jesus is closer to the early Christianity,
early Christian beliefs.
You know,
yes.
that existed in that territories. Prayer, Council of Nicaea concept of the Jesus, which is still even very popular in that area in the biblical. If you go to Ethiopia, you see completely different. It is more. The first Christians were Judah Christians, with lots of traditions of Judaistic circumcision.
And they come directly from David,
yes,
the king.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that if you go and if you study, you find amazing things, and many people don't know that. Many people think that Islam is that different. No. Islam is monotheistic religion,
and it's very close to our own beliefs.
Absolutely.
So you are rather optimistic for the
I'm
future.
very optimistic. I believe that when we find solutions for basic conflicts in the Middle East, I believe that Palestinian issue is the one which inflames
the key yes.
of the. It's small territory, but it is holy land where Muslims, Christians, Jews lived for centuries. And it is
in harmony and understanding.
Yes, in harmony and understanding. You know, they were Muslims and Jews were defending themselves against Crusaders. So that they were allies. You know, and the later Muslims were protecting Christians against Crusades when Salahuddin. So that if we go to history, if we know our past, we'll understand better the present and look into the future more optimistically. But I believe that the future is, we have to resolve Palestinian issue is a source of overall Islamic revolt, or you know, it inflames also all this. We see that many European Muslims, not only Muslims, you know, those who accept Islam, they go to Iraq to fight for probably the justice. They believe that they fight, but sometimes they are mistaken. They go on the wrong path. But if we find solutions to the Palestinian issue, to other conflicts, we will better understand and will live in a better world.
Let's hope it happens before the second coming of Christ.
Yes, absolutely. I do believe that it will happen.
Mr. Mammadov, thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you.
We had with us today Mr. Arif Mammadov, envoy to Brussels of the Organization for Islamic Cooperation.
Thank you.
I am Dan Alexe.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.